So in this video, we are giving this function to be x over what x plus y, where our x is coming from what r. So everybody that all the x that we are going to use here must come from what, this r, right? So you want to show that this function is what 1 to 1, right? That is the key here. And then later on, then we find another function so that this f of g in the composite function is equal to x, right? So make sure that you stay to the end of this video. If you have any question, make sure that you comment along, right? So comment in the comment section below. So the first step here is that you have to understand exactly what one-to-one function mean, right? So you have to know that definition. That is the most important thing here. If you don't know that, it will be very difficult to understand this portion here. Now the key here is that for any function to be one-to-one, so what it means here is that if you have any function, that's the f of s, must be equal to what? F of y, and I'll explain this in just a few seconds. So what it means here is that any function that you are given, right? So if I'm giving this function, I have another variable which is the y. So this y here must come from what? This house, right? So this is where we are going to pick all our elements in. Is that okay? So everything here is equal to this one. If this is the case, then if that is equal to that, then it must mean that the x here is what? Is equal to y, right? So the concept here is that if you have everything, every machine here is equal to the same machine, that's the meaning of this equal to sign. So whatever I'm plugging in here, so the input, right? So you can see this thing to be any machine that takes what item. Is that okay? So we are saying that this machine here is equal to this machine. So what it means is that any item that I'm putting inside a machine, there must be the same thing as well, the first one. Okay, because they all have the same quality, they all have the same what durability and so on and so forth, right? So that is the concept. So this is the a key that you must pay for you to prove that any function is a one-to-one. So with this trick, let's use this idea to demonstrate on this function. So here, all that we are going to do here is that we have the f of x that is equal to the s over x plus 2. So x over x f of s, right? So it's equal to y f of y. Then what it means here is that we have the function. So you have the function being given. Is that okay? So you have this function, and that is well, let me start from this portion. So we have what f of x here, that's equal to what, f of y. So what it means here, f of s is the function being given at this portion. That is the x over what s plus 2 must be equal to, so f of y, meaning that we are just replacing this x in this function. That was y over what y plus what plus 2, right? So we are just replacing. Means that here in this machine we are putting x inside, and then here too we are putting what y inside. Is that okay? So our key or the aim here is that we have to solve this thing to arrive and check whether the x is equal to y, and that is the definitions of what one-to-one function. All right, so if x is equal to y, then we can guarantee that this function is one-to-one. They will take one item, right? So this is a very simple step. So by solving this one, you are going to have this is the cross multiply, right? So you are going to multiply this one by this. Okay, so let me change this pen here and then have a different pen. And let's say you have the x and then multiply by what y plus 2, and then this one also multiply by that is equal to, we have what y multiplied by the x plus 2, right? So here we have the xy and then plus what 2x here, that is equal to xy, right? Alphabetical order, right? So plus what 2y. Is that okay? So what are we going to do at what this point here? So you consider the xy and the xy here, they cancel out, right? So if you group this and you consider you have the xy here, another xy. Is that okay? So they will cancel out. So we are going to left with 2x, that is equal to 2y, right? So 2y here, divide both side by 2. So you have your x is equal to y. So if this is the case, this is exactly what we are looking for us to say that the function being given to us is one-to-one. So we can see clearly that the x is equal to y. Is that okay? That is the key step here. So if this thing happens, we say that the function given to us is one-to-one for all values of what x being what in the R. Is that okay? For anything that you put inside this machine here, we say that the function is one-to-one. Now let's look at the second aspect of this question. That says that we should find the gene of s, right? So we should find the function gene so that f of g is equal to x, right? So this is the composite function. And the idea of what a composite function is that this is what we are giving, right? So we have, let's say this is the notation. Is that okay? This is the notation. So what I normally do here is that, let's say you are moving from one place here, right? One place to a different place on transit. So the idea of a transit is that maybe you take that in with some 2 or 3 steps before you get to your destination. But here, let's say that we are just taking what 2 steps here. Now the first one is that, let's say this is your home, right? So this is your home here. You are here, and then maybe your mom, your dad has to take you with his or her car to the bus station. So you have a bus station here. So let's look at a different thing here. So let's say you have a bus station, right? So you have the bus station. Your mom convey you from here to the bus station. Then you pick that bus up to your destination. So this thing can be your college, right? So this thing can be your college. Is that okay? So you can see that you are going to take 2 steps here to get to your destination, right? So what it means is that if you get to the bus station here, you are going to pick this bus and get to what? To the college, right? So the bus conveys everything from what? From you here to what? To the last stop. So if this is what? F of x, and then here the function at the box here, which is the machine here, that machine is going to take you, right? So take everything of you, right? So everything of f of s here to what? To your college. Is that okay? Now this is what we are calling what? The composite, right? So the composite function. Is that okay? Now here the question says that we should find this machine so that right, there's a condition here, so that this f of g here is equal to the x. So let's have a look at how to do that. Now this is what we are given, right? So we are going to start, our starting point is going to based on this. So the notation here is that f of what? Of g of what? X here, right, is equal to x. That is what we are giving, right? So anything that we do here must be the same what? Value, right? So the key here, this is how you write this thing. So this is also just a simple notation from what the scenario that I just gave, right? So the first machine is this one. So this one here has to take everything up to the latter part, right? Okay, now this is what we are giving. We don't know this. This is exactly what the question is asking us to find. So we can let what this d of x here be equal to what? Anything that you can see, just a single variable. Maybe you can move along with this one. Nobody cares about that, right? So if you replace this one for a simplicity, so you are going to have your f of what? Y here also equal to s. Is that okay? So that's a very simple scenario. So that is what exactly we are looking for. Now, what is this function? So this function, from the first part, we have the f of x, that is equal to x over what? S plus 2. That is what we are giving, right? So this is what we are giving from the first part. You can go back and at the beginning of this video to check this function here. Is that okay? So if you are giving this one, then it means that this here is equal to what? F of this here is equal to what? Y. That's the f of y here. That's the y over what? Over 2. So whatever we see what the x here, we are just replacing, because we are no more putting x into inside. We are putting what? Y into inside. Is that okay? So putting y into inside give us what? Everything here also be equal to y, right? So here has to be equal. They say everything here must be equal to, everything that we are having must be equal to the x, right? So that is exactly what the question says that we should do. So everything that we have here must be equal to, because what are we looking for? We are looking for this y. That is exactly what we are looking at, this portion, right? Can you see? We are looking for the g of x. So okay, so we are looking for y, so you have to solve for this y. So from this portion here, we are going to do the cross multiply, right? So if you do the cross multiply here, you should have this is being assumed to be over 1. So this one multiply this, and everything will multiply this one, right? So here you have our y, that is equal to x into bracket y plus what? Plus 2. Is that okay? So this is what we are having. So here we expand the bracket. Here you have the y is equal to sy, and then plus what? Plus what? 2x. All right, so what are we looking for? Remember that we are looking for y. Is that okay? So let's group the y into one side of the equation. So let's take this y to the other side of the equation, or maybe subtract sy from both sides of the equation. So you have a y minus xy, that is equal to 2x, because we are looking for y, right? So here we can factor. So you are going to factor y out. If you factor y, you are going to left the 1 minus x here, that is equal to 2x. Are you there? Okay, what are we looking for? We are looking for y. So anything that is attached to the y must vanish. So here we are multiplying. So the reverse of that is what? Or the vice versa of this one, you're going to divide both sides with what? Y minus what? Minus what? Sorry, 1 minus what? Minus x, right? So if you divide both sides by 4, y 1 minus x, that is going to be equal to 2s and then divided by what? 1 minus x. Is that okay? So this is exactly what we are looking for. So this is the function g of x, right? That we have been told to ask. So 1 over what? 2s everything divided by what? 1 minus x. So this is the function that the question is demanding of us, so to find exactly. If you gain some value from this video, make sure that you give us a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, comment down below if you have any question or anything that you want to see under our function and relation.